guys! Welcome to our YouTube channel and to Columbus, Ohio. We thought today we could give you a tour of our first finished Airbnb. We're working on another one. I have an Airbnb guest checking in later today, so I only have time to show you the living room and the bedroom, but I think you're gonna like what you see, so come on in, I'll show you everything. Hi guys, so here we are. Welcome to Airbnb D. It's located in Columbus, Ohio. It is our first Airbnb here in Ohio. We had an Airbnb in New York City. Before we get started, I just wanted to share with you that we're gonna do a fun little giveaway. If you comment in the comments below, Sarah, come to my house, then you'll be entered for a 15 to 20 minute design or organizing consultation with me. We'll do it via Skype or Zoom or Google Hangouts, whatever works for you. But it's a fun way to get you involved in our YouTube channel and for us to get involved with our viewers. So back to the Airbnb. The Airbnb is about 700 square feet, so it's pretty small. In the living room, we not only have to have a place for people to sit and watch television, we also have to have a place for people to sit at a desk and do work in order to be considered business friendly Airbnb. It's actually a thing on Airbnb that we have to comply with if we want business people to book our spaces. But we also wanted to sleep extra people, 2 extra people to be specific, so that we can charge more for a 1 bedroom. So come with me, I'll show you zone 1, as I like to call it, with the pull-out sofa, kind of where you lounge, but you can also sleep. Okay, so here we are on our first stop of our Airbnb home tour. I am sitting on a beautiful couch that was custom made by Bassett Furniture. Nick and I had no idea that Bassett Furniture was, I don't know, back in action. I remember it when I was a little girl, but I hadn't been there in so long. We had a great designer and salesperson who helped us, and we decided on a fabric that is stain resistant and fade resistant. So we did spend a little bit extra money on this couch for the fabric, and also because it pulls out into a queen size bed. And the mattress is not just like your run-of-the-mill sleeper sofa mattress. It is a cooling gel foam mattress. And there is no bar that runs through the middle. So like in the middle of the night, there's like a bar on your back. It's actually really comfortable. Full disclosure, right now we're working on the Airbnb next door and it's under construction, but Nick and I can't stay in the RV right now because the RV it would be too cold right now to stay in the RV here in Ohio in January, February, whatever month this is. So we are on the sleeper sofa over there because we got 2 of these bad boys because we love them so much. And let me tell you, they're comfortable. Nick loves it. It was a huge score. And I think these couches are going to be with us for a long time. So they were worth the investment. So we decided to go with like a black and white tweed. And that kind of inspired the rest of the Airbnb design. It reminded me of like 1940s New York City, but let's be clear, everything reminds me of New York City because it's my home and I miss it. But that kind of inspired it. And then I fell in love with these green velvet pillows that are also custom made whenever you get a couch from Bassett. And then we also saw this beautiful guy, which is like a natural background, and then it's got gray and black and then green, which pulls from the velvet green here. And we also brought green in from the rest of the apartment, so it just ties it all in together really nicely. I love the couch. I don't regret it one bit. Okay, and then behind me, so I love the gallery wall, and I think it turned out really nicely. I think instead I would have done one big art piece behind the couch if I could do it again, but this is fine for now. I've got 5 suns up here that you can see. They all came from Wayfair. Everything else is a thrifted find. One of my favorite things that Nick found, if you see that up there, it says next car. It is from an old New York City elevator, which I love. And then this guy has a fun story because I was working for a client in Brooklyn, and when I was finished with the job, I was walking to the train, and there's a big pile of garbage, like there always is in New York, and I saw this guy sitting at the top of the heap, and I was like, I have to have that gate. So I totally climbed the top of the garbage, and I got the gate, and I took it on the train home, and it's been with me ever since, and now it's living in this Airbnb, and I think it's beautiful. So there's that guy. I wanted to add a little bit more height and interest in this corner because I didn't want to put any art over here because of the gallery wall. I think it's too much stuff. So instead I opted for a chandelier that I found on Wayfair. You can either hardwire it in or plug it in. And we decided to plug it in and drape the chain down the corner of the wall. Really cute find. It kind of ties in with my rustic antique situation over here. And then I have two end tables, which are a little more on the modern clean side. They've got gold base with, it's a gold base with glass tops. And then we kind of just have some decor on top to make it feel like this is your home away from home. Okay, next I want to talk to you about one of my favorite pieces of all time, this coffee table. Nick and I have had it for a couple years now. It's made of mango wood. I like mango wood because it's bright, it's light, it's got a lot of grain and movement in it, but it's wood, so it still adds that warmth to any space. I love mango wood so much that I also repeated it in the kitchen and in the bedside tables in the bedroom. The coolest thing about this piece is that, like most things in all of my small spaces, it is multifunctional. We all know that although there's a table in the kitchen, a lot of us just like to eat in the living room while watching TV or working on our computer. So this guy is pretty cool because it opens up and it kind of comes to you so that you can eat your meal. If this were in a regular home, it's also cool because it's got storage inside, that's where you could keep your remotes or your coasters, what have you. Maybe your laptop can stay in here. But for Airbnb, I really love it because I could have supplies in there if I wanted, maybe paper and pen. But the most important thing is that it can lift up. It can be a nice surface for people who are staying here and watch TV and eat or do work. Let's talk about the rug situation quickly. So the green rug that you see on your left is from Bassett. It tied in really well with the couch and the pillows, and we had always planned to have it set up just like it is. But then when I put the desk and the green chair in place, I just felt like the room looked like it was chopped in half. Half of it had carpet and half of it was just the red oak flooring. I wanted something there, but I didn't want something that was square or rectangular because then I feel like I had too many boxes in the area. I also wanted to stay on budget, so I didn't want to do too much layering. Like I could have done another big rug underneath the whole thing to anchor the whole living room together and then the green rug underneath. So instead I opted for an organic shaped, it's a faux cowhide rug that I found at World Market. It's got a lot of cream in it. It's got some brown neutral, and it's also got some gold specks in it too, which again ties in with the gallery wall, the curtain rods, and all that kind of good stuff. And I just like how I could layer it just so over the green carpet that I got from Bassett. So they look like they're related, they're interacting with each other, but the cowhide rug anchors the office space. The green antique looking rug anchors the couch space, but they're still able to totally be in harmony. So I think it turned out pretty well. It's definitely eclectic design, but it works for me, and I think it turned out not too bad. So this is what makes our Airbnb business ready. It is a place for someone to come and they can sit down and do their work. So we had to have a desk in the area. And then you guys, I found this chair at a consignment store here in Columbus. It is the most perfect green leather. It's got nail heads up here. I think Nick scored it for like $180, but the green, the way it ties into the couch over there, and then I've got the plant right here. It's just perfect. Over the desk, I decided to go with another gallery wall. I feel like I have like a problem with gallery walls. I love them. I think I might use them too much. I don't know, but this looks really good. That piece of art was actually created by Nick's grandma, who is a famous Armenian artist, and it's really great to have a piece of her art in this Airbnb. And yeah, I also found this faux plant, so it's faux. That way we don't have to take care of it, we don't have to water it, you just gotta dust it sometimes. Found it on Amazon. You guys, it's beautiful. The way it looks and even feels in person, it's awesome. I really, really love it. Nick was against faux plants, but even this one, he was like, actually, this is pretty nice in this space. And then lastly, to finish up, I put curtains up over this whole wall. I've got shears back here because it's pretty close to the street and I wanted to provide some privacy for the guest. But also I want to decorate this wall with just some fabric and texture and movement. It's black and white, so it ties in with the couch really nicely. But I don't know if you can tell, but it's got these white designs are velvet, and then it's got like a cotton black backing. It's just really elegant. I only needed 2 panels. They're not really meant to open and close. It's just kind of like to really dress up this side of the living space. So let's show you one more area of the living room and then we'll head to the bedroom. Okay, so our last stop in the living room is the entertainment area. I opted for this all black, almost dresser situation with a lot of drawers, mainly because I liked all the gold hardware that came with it. And in this living room, I have black, I have white, and then a lot of gold accents with the gallery wall, with the curtain rod. So it was just another way to tie all that in. On the TV, we have just Netflix and Hulu and Amazon that our Airbnb guests can log into. We don't have regular cable. And we have accounts that Airbnb guests can log into. And then of course, everything's password protected. So no one would be able to like buy anything crazy on those subscriptions. We have a cactus that's actually pretty easy to take care of. So that's real. And then just a little more gold decor. This over here is a mirror which helps bounce light around during the day. Just some candles. And then next to the TV, I flanked these finds from World Market, kind of a vintage antique situation. I've got a round mirror over there and I balance out the height of these things with an antique chair and then a black and white pillow. So it all pulled the living room together really nicely. It's very homey. There aren't any blank walls or making it feel like it's this like empty rental. We really wanted it to feel like home. So let's go to the bedroom. Welcome to the bedroom. I am sitting on a brand new Serta mattress. It's not too firm, it's not too soft. It's right in the middle. If you like the way we made the bed, because I love making beds and I take a lot of pride in making beds, we totally made a video about how we make our Airbnb beds. I had a lot of unpacking jobs when I worked as a professional organizer in New York City, and my favorite thing to do was to put together the beds and then make the beds for my clients. And it was always the one thing that they were like, the bed looks so great, I can't wait to get into it tonight. And it just makes you feel like, okay, this could be home, this is home. So anyway, I always take pride in making beds. I use a lot of white sheets and white bedding in my short-term rentals. I think it just shows the guests that the sheets are really clean and they're fresh, and it's just a nice classic color to go for. I do have a little movement in the flat sheet and in the 2 accent pillows here. I also have some color with the mango wood bedside table. So remember the mango wood that I have in the living room, and you haven't seen it yet, but I have a mango wood table in the kitchen as well. These are from World Market. They often go on sale. I'll link to it in the section below. But I like it because it's light, it's bright, it's got movement, like I said before, but it adds warmth to all the white that I have going on here. And then they have the wood painted gold. So it also ties into a lot of the gold accents we have going on in the Airbnb. And then I also have, for my guests, bedside table always is adapters to plug in any of your smart equipment that you might have. So it's got 3 different plugs for whatever smart technology you have. And then this guy has 2 USB ports. So if you have even more stuff, you totally are prepared if you come stay with us here in Columbus, Ohio. I learned this trick in New York City. We had a lot of European travelers, so we may get those here in Columbus, Ohio. So I thought I would include it anyway, but it's an adapter from European plugs to the way our plugs are set up here in the US. So it's just another convenience that we've kind of thought of ahead of time here in our short-term rental. So let's talk waist up here in the bedroom. So let's first talk about this bed frame that I found on Overstock. I love it. It is vintage inspired iron-like black bed frame. It's perfect against the white bedding and the white wall. It kind of just breaks it all up. So do these awesome, I call them sea urchin wall decor that I got from Wayfair. Again, in a gallery formation because I like gallery walls. It's another pop of gold. It goes really well with the curtain rod and the other accents we have. Plus it's 3D, so instead of being flat against the wall, it pops out. You can touch it, you can feel it. It just makes the wall more interesting. And then over here, you can see the curtains that I chose for the room. I did go for a white curtain because I do want this to look light, bright, clean, but you'll notice that there are black accents in the panels. That just helps break up all the white. I opted for sheers It's a more economical option other than blinds. Got them from Wayfair as well. It provides privacy, but also lets light in, which I really like. And yeah, the curtains are also blackout curtains. Couldn't think of the word. They're blackout curtains. So if they want to close the curtain before they go to bed, when they wake up, it's still pretty dark in here. Just trying to think about all the things that our guests may want in their own bedroom. Over on this side of the bedroom, I opted for a really big piece of art that I found at West Elm. It's got some fun geometrical pattern in it, but again, it's wood, but it's lighter wood, so it adds warmth. But not too much of a rustic feel. I kind of get rustic back here behind me. The reason I opted for a really big piece right here is because when you walk into the bedroom, this is the picture you see. So I wanted it to not be a big white blank wall. I wanted it to be like, oh, there is something more coming as I'm coming down the hallway into this bedroom. So that was kind of my thought here. I just like the picture that it creates. And then behind me, I kind of went really rustic and fun and DIY. We paired some reclaimed wood with Levi's belts, so it's got that masculine feel to it because there's a whole lot of feminine going on in this Airbnb. And then I just did some fun decor. I've got this clock that I found at IKEA. This is like a newspaper print, but there's also pencil sketching on it. This is actually my grandmother's hat, and it's just, I kind of have this like vintage old school vibe going on in here. So I thought with the green and the yellow and the vintage hat that it kind of had a really cool spot right here. And then down here, I've got some faux succulents. I've got an owl. I've got a pop of green here just to bring in the green from the pillow on the bed and on the carpet below. An old door handle. And these pillows, they're totally not practical. They just add some texture and some color to underneath the shelves, and I prop them up. You can't see the bottom trunk, but I have two trunks here. I layered the trunks. The bottom one is just a natural wood, and then this one is like a green trunk. So again, more green, color with the pillows. And then I carried the blackout curtains to the window over here as well. So I love this corner. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of cool stuff going on. It's unique, it's vintage inspired, and we really like it. Over on this side of the room, I wanted to talk about really quick the trim that we selected for this apartment. So we did not renovate the bathroom or the kitchen in the apartment. This is really meant for us to be able to cash flow in this fourplex, and then we're going to be full gut renovating the apartment that is actually right below here. But we did tear up the really gross pink carpeting that was in the entire apartment. And with that, we had to replace the trim. So we did the door casings and the baseboards poplar, and then we stained them with dark walnut, which is a Minwax stain color. I really like the dark walnut against the white walls. It was just a nice classic choice for all of our trim. Inside each of the closets that you've seen on this tour, I just have some white hangers. In this closet in particular, I have the sofa bed pull-out bedding, just in case people use the sofa bed. But the closets are pretty empty, nothing too special. In the living room, I also offer a ironing board with iron that is hung on the wall, so it's nice and tidy. And then I have coat hangers, not just white plastic hangers. I have something a little more sturdy. And we also keep all of our cleaning stuff in there. I'm kind of going on the honor system with this Airbnb because we don't have too much storage space ready yet within the fourplex, but I do take inventory before and after each guest checks in and out. Airbnb does cover you for theft or damage, so I'm not too worried if someone were to take a extra box of Swiffers with them. But I just wanted to let you know that's kind of how we have the closet set up in the living room. Over here, we kind of fell in, we weren't planning on doing a vanity in the bedrooms, but we fell in love with this piece that we found at a consignment store. I kind of want to show you how it opens up really quickly. So first of all, this is a faux orchid that looks really great in real life, here in person. I found it at Target. I think it was $7. And this is just a gold box that I prop it up with just to give it some height and to pull in all the gold. What I really want to show you is how cool. Now I know people probably aren't going to be using this, but it's like an old secretary, and this pulls out. So if you want, let's say you are here with like 4 people, someone could be out in the desk in the living room, someone could be working here. It's also another great place to sit down and put your makeup on. Let's say someone's getting ready in our tiny, tiny bathroom and someone's getting ready here in the bedroom. Nick and I were like, yes, let's do it. I don't think this was more than $150. I didn't have to do anything to it. It came with all these really cute knobs. I just had this West Elm, it's almost like a side table, but I used it as a seat in this situation. And then we paired it with this mirror that I found at an antique store in Astoria, Queens, New York. It came with a mirror, I think, but we didn't like it. So you can always do that. If you see a vanity you like and you like the vanity itself, but not the mirror, you can always like do something else that's more your style. You could pair it with something like this and add a little bit of color. Instead of one mirror, you could do like 3 mirrors, because you know I like a gallery situation. Yeah, so that is this area. That is the thought process behind the vanity and the closets and the trim. All right, so the rug situation in the bedroom goes like this. I found this really great geometric pattern green rug at yet another consignment store here in Columbus, Ohio. I think it was just fate when Nick and I found this fourplex. Down the street literally are 3 amazingly priced consignment stores that we visit on the daily to see what they have every day. Come in, and I found this rug, and it was, I think, on sale for $97. Nick used his super negotiating skills and got them down to under 90. We think somewhere around, the 80, 85 range. And I put it on the ground, and I was like, you know what? This just needs a little more beefing up. So I already had the jute rug that it's sitting on top of, because I do love layering a rug, but I had it already, so it didn't add to my expense for decorating the Airbnb. So it's layered. It looks great. It's like that touch of, it's got some, movement, texture, interest, other than just having the one green rug on top of the wood floor. But yeah, turned out pretty well. One last stop before we send you off. In this Airbnb, we said that we did not renovate any of the spaces really, other than take up the carpet, replace the door casings and the baseboards, but we also updated all the electrical. It wasn't a big expense. It took Nick maybe half a day, and now all of our switches and our plugs are nice, clean, white. They're not old and grody, because those things are just really hard to clean up. And when it comes to short-term rentals, I think it's all about being super clean. I mean, even think like the baseboard behind the bed. Whenever I go to a hotel, I notice that like under the bed, because it's hard to get there, it's really grody, but we pay attention to those things, and I know that our guests notice it because they always comment on how clean our spaces are. And I took that to the electrical outlets and switches as well. So with that, I want to go back to one of my last decor pieces that we put in this space. It is an actual vintage macrame wall hanging that my mother-in-law made. And as I was decorating the Airbnb, she sent me a picture via text. And it's like, Sarah, I found this. I used to love making macrame. And she also took some pictures of these 1970s macrame how-to magazines, and she got so inspired and excited to bring macrame back because it's so hot right now. But I knew I had to put it in this space. It ties in really well with the jute rug that we layered in here under the bed, so I love that. Obviously the texture is pretty baller, and it's neutral, so it goes really well against the white wall. We've got the rustic actual stick that it's hanging from that ties in with the shelves over there. You always want to repeat something 2 or 3 times to have it make sense in a space, to really tie the space together. So that's why this made sense here. It also takes up this whole wall, so this one piece can just be a nice focal point and really balance out the room. Okay, so we have Airbnb guests checking in any minute now. Nick and I have to get out of here, put everything back in place so that they can have a great experience while here in Columbus, Ohio. Come back soon. We'll have another video where we show you the really cool nook that we decked out, the bathroom and the kitchen, and how we have those stocked for our Airbnb guests. My name is Sarah Karakan. Please subscribe to our channel. We're really trying to grow our YouTube channel because we love bringing you home improvement, DIY, home decor, organizing tips and tricks, and we can't do it without viewers. We'll see you next time, and I really thank you for stopping by.
Here, where are you? Oh, there you are.